Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off, so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Klopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started.
Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. I can't speak with these in at all. I'm supposed to be a vampire, but I just sound like a spit-filled old man. Anyway, my name is Jamin, and this is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what?
What?
I just read the last current book in Lee Bardugo's Grishaverse series, and there's another one coming out in March. And
This
I know
is all in English, you just said?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So one of my favorite authors, Lee Bardugo. I
Uh-huh.
write a bunch of songs about her books.
Okay.
I just read the last book that's currently out in this book series. The
Oh, okay.
Grishaverse book series.
Grishaverse.
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 Yes, and
Yeah.
that's like where all my songs come from. And I just
Okay.
read the last one that's currently out. Another one comes out in a couple months. But
Wow.
for right now, I'm very sad. that
Okay.
I read the last book.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. And
Oh no,
congratulations.
it's okay. Thank you. But it's inspired another song. So.
Oh, okay. So more music
Not
coming
all
out
is
from
lost.
at Ken Redonda's Music.
Oh,
I don't know.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sure. Yes.
All right, cool. Well, today's is from also a book series called Twilight. I think I only have one. I've got like probably, 15 to 20 students who've learned this song, and I think only one of them have actually watched the movie. But apparently it's a really popular song.
I also, another guess what? I have now officially seen all the movies. For
the Twilight movies.
Yes. I
Okay.
hadn't seen the last
Yeah.
3.
Okay, but you've never played the song.
I have not.
So that's perfect. Yes.
Yes.
So all my students who have watched the movies have not played the song, and all my students who have played the song have not watched the movies. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe don't watch the movies. Maybe that'll wreck the song for you, or vice versa. But whatever. Eventually, when you after we're done with this lesson, you've gotten to practice it. Hopefully, it will sound something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So, if you've never heard that song before, it just sounds like a whole bunch of notes all in a row. That's because it feels like a whole bunch of notes all in a row, and I want to point out a couple things here for you. One is there's a lot of repeating going on. So, even though it is pretty fast and it keeps moving, like there's not very much time for breaks in there, although there are a couple. There's a lot of doubles in there. So, like we got a lot of double C's and double F's and double A's and stuff. And you can see like that whole chunk right there is going to get repeated right there. It's the exact same thing. And then right here, this whole chunk right here is going to get repeated right here, actually including that B as well. So that whole chunk is going to get repeated, and then you can see that a lot of this stuff right here is showing up down here. So you don't have to know how to play any of that yet. Just know that as you're learning parts of this song, as you're learning each chunk, you're actually learning that chunk plus all the times it's going to come back later on. So let's talk about these first 3 notes right here. We're just going to walk it up starting on a C. And in order to find a C, all you got to do is take any group of 2 black notes like those, or those, or those. Just don't pick a group of 3 black notes because that will not get you to a C. So any group of 2 black notes, you're going to take the lowest note, the note that's on the left, and drag it even farther to the left until you land on a white note. And that's going to be a C every single time. And if you just walk that up, that'll be a C and a D and an E. You don't have to remember what the letters are. Just find that C and then walk it up. And as we play those 3 notes, we're going to say the words, walk it up. Walk it up. And immediately we're going to jump down to a G. And as you can see, it's quite a big jump down. So a couple different ways to get this. Either one, you can go by the 3 black notes that we just ignored a second ago. And we're going to take the middle note in a group of 3 black notes and drag it a little bit down, and we land on a G. So we could do that, just kind of keep our eye on that, maybe even keep our finger on that, and play the C, D, E, and then jump straight to that one. But there's almost no time between this E and this G. So that's the thing we need to practice first. Once we get the first 3 notes down, walk it up, and we got to get right to that G. Another way would be just to jump over these 4 notes. If you can just kind of like keep your eye on these 4 notes right here, and just know you got to jump over 1, 2, 3, 4 notes and land right there. That's called a sixth because there's 6 notes, 6 letters involved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got to jump down a sixth. And for me, it's like the size of my hand when I just do that. When I like relax my hand and put it down, like it lands as a sixth. So it's not actually that weird of a jump as far as like distance in your hand. It's almost as natural as the next note over. But it is a big jump. So we got to practice that up. Walk it up, and is the next word. And then we get to repeat that G and then go down 1 note. So we're going to play a G and then another G and say then. And as we step down, we're going to play an F and say we, step. Then we're going to step down again and say down, 2.
and then step down one more time for the word the. So we'd play walk it up, and then we step down to the. That right there by itself would take a lot of practice, especially if this is your first song you've ever played before. It's going really fast. It's repeating some notes and not repeating other notes, so you got to keep track of that. And also it's got this really big, weird jump in here from E down to G. So that's a lot to practice. If that's all you can get down this week, that's perfectly fine. But we want to make sure we say the words out loud. That'll really help. Walk it up, and then we step down to the. And we're going to have to jump from this D, not as far as we jumped before, but we do want to go down to an A. So we're going to go from this D, I'm on the word the, and I want to get to the word low. And this is the lowest note of the entire song. So we're going to jump from here over 2 notes and land on an A. So again, we've got walk it up, and then we step down to the lowest. And that's 2 A's in a row. You should probably pause the video right now and practice that if you're live with us. I'm going to try playing along with the track. Just get all the notes that you can. If you miss a bunch, that's perfectly fine. You get to practice this later. At least get those first 3 notes, the C and the D and the E. I think you can do it. Let's try it together. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, go. Walk it up, and then we step down to the lowest. Yeah, okay, cool. Then after that, we're just going to do a whole bunch of skipping, as we're going to do a lot during this song in a lot of sections. We're gonna go from here, skip up, skip up, skip up. So A, and then skip up, and then skip up, and then skip up. You land on an A and a C and an E and a G. The letters don't really matter as much as the skipping does. And we're gonna say out loud the words lowest note and skipping. Pause now. And after you say pause now, you gotta pause, and it's one of the only pauses in the song right there. So it looks like you're supposed to play 4 G's all in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's not the case. You're supposed to play 2 of them, and then pause, and then play 2 more, and then continue on after that. So that's where the pause is, after you say pause now. Lowest note and skipping, pause now. And then we get to just like step it down nice and easy, kind of like we did right there. G's, F's, E's, and a D. Right there. So G, G, F, F, E, E, D, and then even skipping down to the A, C, C, E, E, all of that's the exact same thing. So from this star right here to this star is all notes that you've already played before. G, G, F, F, E, E, D, A, C, C, E, E. And before we went A, C, C, E, E, G, G. By the way, if you're live with us right now is about the time where a lot of people who are feeling like, hey, I can do this song. I'm going to get this song down before the lesson. And then people start feeling like, oh no, he's going too fast. Slow down. I'm not with you. If you're not with me, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. When students get confused, Clapple gets impatient. Hang on, Clapple. What I wanted to say is, this will be our last time through when we play it here in just a second. Clapple, I lost my train of thought. Ow, man. Oh, if you're feeling like you don't like I'm going too fast and you can't keep up with me, that's perfectly fine. You get to come back in the archives and replay these little sections as many times as you need. And of course, if you get to the end of the lesson and it still doesn't make sense, then let me know. You'll probably be watching in the archives at that point, and let me know, and I can work one-on-one with you for any of these songs. So anyway, what we were doing was G, G, F, F, E, E, D, and then A, C, C, E, E. And before we went up to G, because we skipped the whole way through. Remember that? We went A, C, C, E, E, G, G. We're gonna do that, except that last note is gonna go up 1 higher, and we're gonna land on A's right there. And even though we're only like halfway through the song, we're really a lot more than halfway through the song, because a lot of this stuff you've already done before. So let's take a look at this section right here. If you go up 1 note from the A, you'd be on a B, and then this G, G, F, E, E, D, all that stuff, you've done all that before. Before you jumped down to an A, but this time, from this D, we're just gonna go down 1 note. From that D, we're gonna go from but to now. We're gonna go down 1 note, and we're gonna skip over 2 notes, and then
over one note, and then over two notes. So in my mind, this makes kind of a pattern. Like I'm skipping over two, and then skipping over one, and then skipping over two. So now we're getting to the highest, and this is the highest note of the song right here. We're gonna do all that exact same thing one more time. Notes, and then we're falling down. Be careful for the pause, and then and this is where our only other pause comes in the entire song right there. Same thing, it looks like we got 4 Ds in a row. Don't play 4 Ds in a row. Play 2 Ds, take a little pause, watch out for that pause, and then the very last line, the last notes that you need to learn for the whole entire song are single C. Now, you're going to want to, I guarantee it, when you get to this C, you're going to want to play this C again, because that's the way the whole song has worked, is we play 2 notes, and then we go down and play 2 at a time. But this one breaks the streak that we have of these double notes. And so we're going to play 2 Ds, only 1 C, 2 A's, and then 1 G, 1 E, and 1 D. So your hand's going to want to do doubles. Don't. That'll mess up the song. Single C breaks the double streak. Okay, cool. So then that all together, get all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the rest. Even if you only get the first 1 or 2 or 3 notes, that's perfectly fine. If you're in the archives, make sure you pause the video right now. Practice up any of the sections that you need to. Then we're gonna try it all together. Everyone working on their own version. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, ready, go. Walk it up, and then we step down to the lowest note and skipping pause now. And now we're stepping down and lower notes climb up again before they sink back down again. But now we're getting to the highest notes, and then we're falling down. Be careful for the pause, and then the single C breaks the double streak. Okay, so kind of a fast song because there's just only 2 places in the whole entire song to take a little breather and pause, and it's right at the point where you want to keep playing on. So probably there's some tricky rhythms in here, stuff you need to practice. But Kendra, for right now, while we take our break, tell us about our weekly activity.
This activity is called Rhythm Flashcards. Shuffle the cards, then place them side by side to create a custom song. Then turn on the metronome at any speed and try playing the rhythm on any note. Or you can try clapping the rhythm. For even more combinations, cards can be used upside down.
Yeah, that's a super important one, especially if you're working on Clopple Academy level like 2 or 3, and you got to do all that sight reading stuff. That's going to be really helpful for that. Well, right now, let's play a little higher or lower. So here's how it works. These notes are higher, these notes are lower. As I go up, notes get higher. As I go down, notes get lower. So I'm gonna play you 2 notes, and you have to tell me, was the second note higher or lower than the first note? And you're gonna be playing against Kendra, and she's really good at this stuff. So see if you can get more of these correct than Kendra. A little example here would be like if I played this note, and then this note, the second note was lower than the first note. All right, let's get to it. Couple notes for you. What about these notes right here? This note, and then this note. Was the second note higher or lower than the first note? What do you think? Second note higher or lower? Kendra, what do you think?
I think it was lower.
The second note was lower. Yeah, it went from a high note down to a lower note, even though they're both still pretty high. What about if I played down here? If I played something like this? Was the second note higher or lower than the first note? What do you think, Kendra?
It kind of felt like a seesaw for me, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it went higher the second time.
So start out low and then kind of went higher.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. That's
cool.
Yeah.
Let's do one more of these. Here we go. So these notes right here, this is going to be the hardest one of all of them. What about this? Those notes are pretty close together. They're both just medium notes. But was the second note higher or lower than the first medium note? What do you think, Kendra?
I think it was lower.
We went from a slightly higher note to
to a slightly lower note.
They're
Yes,
both
and
so close together.
they were. Yeah, that was probably the toughest one of all of them. So, and you'll get to do more of that stuff in Clopple Academy if you're in there. But for right now, let's do a little bit of mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
This week is from I Like Piano 55, who says, Dear Jamin, how long has Kids Learn Piano Live been going? Well, our very first lesson was horrible, and it was a lot of fun, and it was August 11th of 2013. So we've been doing these live streams, racking up those archives for longer than a lot of you have been alive. So yeah, it's a whole lot of lessons ago, but this is lesson 360 something. Yeah, a long time. Well, I got a little bit of information to tell you about this song, but it's kind of a secret, so don't tell anyone. It's secret information.
Secret information.
And this week, in our top secret information folder, let's find out a little bit about this song. So, this week, this is some of the most helpful secret information we've ever done, I think. Okay, let me show you this real quick. If you've been doing level 1 for a long time and you want to go to level 2, a lot of people find it really tricky to like try to memorize all the letters and on the lines and the spaces and stuff. I want to show you a little trick here that I call speed reading, because when I'm reading this stuff and I'm trying to go through it really fast on a song like this where you just got to keep doing more notes and more notes and more notes, then I use this little technique called speed reading, where I'm not actually reading the letters to any of these notes. I just need to know what one of them is. So like right here, once I know that I'm on an A, once I get one of the notes down, then I just ask myself, is the next note the same or up or down? So from here, I wouldn't even read this note. I would just see this the same note and I play that one. And then here's where the trick comes in. If that note's on a line and this note's on a line, I know that we're not playing the note that's on the space, so I'm supposed to skip over a note. So I'm gonna end up playing this note, not even thinking that it's a C. It is a C, but I don't have to read that note. I can just go from that line up to that line and then play the same exact note again. And then from here, I'm going from that line to that line, which is just skipping over another note because I'm skipping over that space. So I'm just going from a line to a line to a line, because anytime you go from a line to a line to a line to a line, you're always going to be skipping over a space. And same thing if you have a note that's going from a space to a space, it's just going to be skipping over that line. So if I were you, I'd start practicing by not even reading the letters on here. Get to know one of the first notes, but then after you get, once you know that you're on a G right there, I wouldn't waste your time trying to figure out that that's a G too. I'd just say same note, down one, same note, down one, same note, down one, and then down a fourth for that one. So it's going from a space to a space except one more. So I'd call that a skip plus one. So I'm just reading the distances between the notes. That's called playing intervallically. That way I just have a lot less to think about. I don't have to think about all the letters and playing all the notes on the piano. I'm just following the patterns up and down. Well, that's my last secret, except who won the raffle? Maybe it's you.
All right, everybody, let's level up.
Transitioning to level 2. This may be confusing to level 1 students, so please continue to practice the level 1 version. or visit learnpianolive.com/level 2 for a detailed explanation on how to level up.
So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.